All right, so here are the notes on the segment addition postulate. So right here, the segment addition postulate, and we're going to call it SAP because I don't like to write all of that, okay? So if I look at this picture here, this P, Q, and R with this line segment, and I'm going to tell you that PQ plus QR equals PR, right? So we just talked about the one of the pieces plus the other piece, add them together, they should equal the whole thing, right? So another way to think about this is part 1 plus part 2 is going to equal the whole thing. Now, if it has more than 2 parts, then you just add up all the parts. So it'll be part 1 plus part 2 plus part 3 will equal the whole thing, okay? So as long as you add up all the parts, it should equal the whole. That's the big idea behind the segment addition postulate, okay? Now, for these first 2 examples, I want you to write everything down that I have written down. I know it might seem simple, but I need you to write it down because when we get to the bottom 2, you'll see why it might not always be so simple when it gets a little more, when I throw variables and all that in there, okay? All right, so the example 1, I need to find PR. I need to figure out how long PR is. So is PR a part or a whole? It's the whole thing. So I need to figure out how big the whole thing is. But what I learned from up here is that PQ plus QR is equal to PR, right? The first part plus the second part equals the whole thing. Y'all with me so far? Okay. No? Okay. How long is PQ? 4. So I'm going to just substitute that in. I know that's 4. All right, how long is QR? That's 8. All right, did they tell us how long PR was yet? No, so we don't know yet. So I'm trying to figure out what's PR. All right, so now what's 4 plus 8? 12. So now that we know that PR is 12 because we added the lengths of the 2 smaller segments. So PR is 12 centimeters. That's okay? Pretty easy? All right, cool. All right, second one, we need to find PQ. So again, is PQ a part or a whole? Is it a part? PQ, is that a part or a whole? It's a part of the segment, right? Either way, I'm still going to do PQ. I know that piece plus the piece QR is going to equal PR. Now, do we know how long PQ is? No, we don't. So when we don't know something, what did you learn in algebra that we do? What if we don't know what it is? What do we label it as? We do it as a variable, right? So we're going to say that's X because I don't know what that is. So PQ is going to be X plus what's QR? 89 equals what's PR? 100. You see that's a one-step equation? Remember that? 7th, 8th grade algebra? All right, so how do we solve that so we can figure out what X is? You subtract 89 from both sides. And I'm running out of space. So X is equal to 11. And X represents PQ. So we know that PQ is equal to 11 inches. We okay? Now, do I know on the first one you could have just added 4 plus 8 without writing all that? Yes, I do. Do I know in number 2, could you have just done 100 minus 89 and got 11? Yes, I do. But the thing is, I want you to get used to the setup, so then when I get down to the bottom 2, it's not like, oh, where is that coming from? All right, let's look at number 3. Number 3, I want to find X. I need to figure out what X is equal to. Okay? So, either way, it's still segment addition postulate. I still know that PQ plus QR is equal to PR. All right, so how long is PQ? 6x. How long is QR? 3. How long is PR? 27. Do you see now we have a 2-step equation that we can solve to figure out what X is. So what's the first step in solving for this X? We're going to subtract 3 from both sides. So we get 6x equals 24. Then what? Divide both sides by 6, and x is equal to 4. Good. Did we answer the question? Yeah, we found x. I found x. We're good to go. But I still use the segment addition to help me set up the equation I would need to be able to solve for x. Okay. And last one, number 4. We're trying to find QR. Still segment addition postulate. So I'm like, all right, let's set it up. PQ plus QR equals PR. Because I just took the piece plus the other piece equals the whole thing. All right, so how long is PQ? It's 2x. Plus how long is QR? 7x minus 2. And how long is PR? 25. So once I set up the initial statement representing the picture, I just plug in the information that they gave us, right? All right, so now this is a multi-step equation. What do I have to do first? I could add 2 first, but I'm going to like to do something else. I'm going to put the variables together. I'm going to combine like terms, right? So I got to put the 2x and the 7x together. What's 2x plus 7x? 9x. So remember when I said last unit that we should get our equation stuff in order because we were going to need it? Then we're going to add 2 to both sides. Hold on. I'm running out of space. Add 2 to both sides. All right, so I'm going to come. Why is this not showing? All right, so then we're going to add, so we got 9x equals 27. Then what are we going to do? Divide both sides by 9, and we get x is equal to what? Get x is equal to 3. Are we done? Why are we not done? Why? What are we trying to find? QR. So go back to the initial question. Make sure we're finding whatever the question is asking us for. Question 3 only asks us to find x. Question 4 is asking us to find QR. So now, now that I know x, how am I going to go find QR? I need to plug it into the values for QR. So we know that QR is equal to 7x minus 2. We know that x is 3. So we get QR equals 7 times 3 minus 2. So 7 times 3 is 21 minus 2. And QR is equal to 19. Okay? So be careful to make sure you are completely answering the question because I will put 3 as an answer choice and I will put 19 as an answer choice. You got to make sure you're answering the question carefully. All right, and that's the end